Well, to Parliament now, and its Ad Hoc committee established to select the next public protector will recommend acting Public Protector Kholeka Gcaleka to head the Chapter 9 institution. The committee interviewed 8 shortlisted candidates last week. Gcaleka was proposed to be the successful candidate by the ANC and supported by the IFP. The DA, the FF Plus and the EFF didn't support the proposal for her to take over from suspended Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. So the decision will be taken to the National Assembly, where it will be debated and parties will have an opportunity to vote on it. Gcaleka will need 60% support from the MPs there, and it remains up to the President, Cyril Xaba, to make that appointment.
Now, the chairperson of the Ad Hoc committee to nominate a person for the appointment as Public Protector, Cyril Xaba, joins us live now to talk about this. Mr. Xaba, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I mean, you've seen the criticism that has been leveled against this particular recommendation. How do you respond?
Well, good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me. We were looking for a candidate who met the selection criteria that the committee had developed. Someone who is independent, who has demonstrated ability to, express the values embodied in our constitution, who will perform his or her duties without fear, favor or prejudice, someone with skills, experience, and the knowledge of the office and the work of the of public protector. So indeed, it came to that point where we had to call for interviews, because all of them, on paper, they were suitably qualified and they roughly met the fit and proper definition that we had set for ourselves. So the oral presentation then brought us to where we had selected one candidate, because we were looking for one candidate to recommend to Parliament, for Parliament to approve and recommend to the President.
Now, one of the things, of course, that I'm sure you've also seen has been that, the Democratic Alliance, for example, even saying it in the sitting that she's wholly unsuitable for the post and has a burden of baggage. The FF Plus and EFF saying she has a cloud over her head and won't restore the public's confidence in the institution. So I suppose then, listening to you, you say that all of these are, unwarranted. But how concerned are you about what they're raising, or are you simply saying that for you,
well, look,
you can go ahead, sir.
Well, look, there's no doubt or a debate that Advocate Kholeka Gcaleka interviewed very well, and that she is suitably qualified and is a fit and proper person. The issue raised was that, she has a cloud hanging over her head. And but the colleagues, you can't just make those allegations and do nothing about it. The matter emanates from the decision or the ruling she made on Phala Phala. And you expect that anyone who is not happy, who is aggrieved with the ruling, that he or she takes it on review, for the court to ventilate on the matter and also be afforded the opportunity to state her side of the story. And that has not happened. The parties we are referring to that objected to her name, I'm not aware that any one of them has, in fact, taken the report on review. So the matter remains as is so far.
And there's also, of course, a view from, one of the parties as well, and that's the DA, that, I know you've said earlier on that these candidates on paper were suitable to be interviewed or to vie for this particular position. But there's a view that says you may not have had candidates that would have been strong in terms of the pool from which they needed to pick from.
Well, it's just that they don't mention what they mean by that. I mean, you can't have 38 people who were nominated by the public with degrees, sometimes in some cases more than 2, practicing advocates and so on and so forth. Some are already leading in Chapter 9 institutions, and you say none of them are suitable. That is laughable. Look, this is election time, and parties are not likely to agree on anything. Even if you were to, put a motion on the increment, salary increment, their salary increment, they will still not agree on it. So expect this. It mustn't surprise you that there will be this, hide and seek, because it's time where parties are competing for attention.
And there's something else, that I'd like to get your thoughts on. I know you didn't, of course, preside over that process to recommend, what should happen then with Advocate Busiwe Mkhwebane, but I'm keen to hear from you, because you are in Parliament as a member of Parliament. If anything at all you would have as a response to her saying that she is going to be challenging that report that is recommending her removal from office.
Well, look, the two processes were independent of each other. I know that the Section 94 committee has concluded its work, and it has tabled it with the Speaker, and the matter will be debated in Parliament very soon. And I'm honest with you, I don't see her succeeding on her attempt. She was given sufficient time to present their own case, but decided not to do so. The matter has been dragging for far too long, and and in the end, she decided not to cooperate with the process. The committee had to take a decision at some point, and they took the decision.
And for you, are you confident that now the Office of the Public Protector at some point is going to then weather the storms of, the criticism that it has come under, the cloud in some of the points as well, that it will be able to now focus on its mandate and restore the public's confidence in it at some point?
Well, there are lessons to be learned for anyone who is appointed to that office, and the expectations are for everyone to see. And look, people have become more aware of their rights, and with all the laws, the courts interpreting our laws, including the Bill of Rights. And so I don't think that our people are expecting anything than someone who is going to do justice to their case, will be independent, will not appear to be, taking decisions that, side with government. Well, look, I'm not saying that where the facts of the case suggest that you rule against the complainant himself or herself, that you should not do so. But to look at the facts of the case, to apply the law, and to decide what is just and proper in each situation, and then rule accordingly.
All right. Let me thank you for your time, Mr. Xaba. Do appreciate it. That is a chairperson of the Ad Hoc committee to nominate a person for the appointment as a public protector. That is Cyril Xaba.